We begin this chapter with our trio at a field away from Nimbasa town, and we decide to set up lunch. Before that, though, Ash and Hill decide to go to a different place per Ash's request. As well, silences at his Pokemon prepares his lunch. As he's preparing lunch, however, for a starving and pretty weak Tepig arrives, who Silent Fee eats. After that, if we then come back to Ash and Hilda, who after in the Nimbasa Town tournament, Ash says he wants to train Hilda to help her get better at battles, and thanks to everything they've been to a team in Plasma and such, Hilda agrees. Agrees. The groups and their Pokemon. Oh, everyone when training with each other. Everyone, Pikachu and Mean for training their team's weakest members. Embers. However, the grass types, Waddle and Snivy, would get along great and get intense with the training. Eventually, they push each other so much they evolve into Swaddle and Servine, respectively. The rest of the group get even stronger as well. Well, eventually, the training ends with Hill thanking Ash for everything. We could then cut back to Silent, who has spent the time bonding with the Tepig. Eventually, they've grown so much that Silent decides to catch it, adding a new Pokemon to his team. Eventually, Ash and Hilda come back, and the group all have lunch with their Pokemon, sharing what they've done, and excited for the next step in their journeys. The next event to happen is when the group step at a nearby town out of the Pokemon Center, where they see a sign or a fishing competition, which gets Silent really excited, revealing that fishing is one of his favorite hobbies. He's asking if they can compete. Ash and Hilda, thinking it'll be fun, agree. The group head to where the competition is being held, and Silent is a addict. They're given fishing pole where they're signing up. Then head to the docks, and the contest begins. Ash shows off his fishing skills from his previous journeys, and Silent demonstrates why he loves fishing so much. However, Hilda struggles the most, revealing she's never been a great fisher. So Ash and Silent give her tips, which helps her improve. Eventually, the competition ends, and with that, we see our results. Hilda has gotten four Pokemon. Ash got none. I'm making him the runner-up. But in the first place goes to Silent, as he got 12, and as or he gets to keep his fishing pole. Silent is ecstatic, and Ash and Hilda congratulate him. After this, Ash and Hilda return their poles, and the group leave and continue on their way to Nimbasa City. The group have officially made it, and quick, we've got a bunch to go over, so let's get right to it. The group explore Nimbasa City. Near the Pokemon Center, they run into Bianca. Bianca reveals she's here to see Elesa, revealing she's a big fan like Hilda, but which makes the two immediately gush over how amazing she is. Bianca reveals that the way to her fashion show is not far from here, so they head over there and absolutely excited to see the Pokemon musical. This is where we get the same events from Camp. And Bianca will lead the group inside, and they witness Lisa's fashion show. Everything they all be amazed until Lisa sees Ash's Pikachu and does a huge jump over to them, shocking the group. They then introduce themselves, and Hill and Bianca admit they're big fans, which pleases Elisa. She even gives them autographs. Ash then admits that he's here for a gym battle, and at least Lisa saying it'll be a perfect when it burns some energy after the fashion show, saying she looks forward to her challenge tomorrow. Let's challenge them all. Well, even invites the others to watch. The next day, the group arrive at the gym for Ash's gym battle. And yes, before the battle begins, let's make things abundantly clear. This battle goes very different from Candace since Ash is smarter. Now, because let's be honest, that gym battle in the canon was horrendously horrible. Well, but before this rants on, because I'm pretty sure and not to what other people have said, let's get things moving. But Lisa and Ash join the battlefield, and the battle begins. Elisa starts a battle off with Dynamo, and Ash, for the type advantage, sends out Swadloon. The two do get out, but things are not even. In fact, it gets completely one-sided thanks to Dynamo's incredible speed. This makes it hard for Ash to Swadloon land attacks until Ash takes a risk and has Swadloon purposely take a hit to land string shot to slow down and let an energy ball lower its defense. After this, Swadloon tries to break free, but it's immensely slower now. It has a hard time. After a few more attacks, Dynamo manages just to go down finally. Impressed, Lisa then sends out a Mulga and says she's through playing around. Uh, And doesn't take very long for Swaloo to go out thanks to a Mulga's four times type advantage. And it's knocking out Swaloo without much of a problem. Ash's next Pokemon, though since it's risky, he ultimately sends out Arkin. And the battle is pretty even as both of them have the type advantage and disadvantage against each other. Eventually, at least to try to confuse use Arkin with an attract, but Ash has a plan and has Arkin destroy the rocks with ancient power and then use it again, raising all of its attacks. And zooms around the battlefield and lands multiple rock throws until eventually Mulga is knocked out, but leaving Elisa down to her final Pokemon and her ace, Zebstrika. The battle is very uneven as Zebstrika immediately hits pretty hard with its electric type moves, easily knocking out Arkin. And so Ash is down to his final Pokemon, Pikachu, who both duke it out with speed and power. However, Zebstrika knows Flame Charge, easily increasing its speed and making it hard for Pikachu to land and dodge. But however, despite that, his attacks do manage to land. He does manage to land some attacks, but it's no match for Zebstrika's speed. Things are not going well. However, Ash gets an idea. He has Pikachu use Thunderbolt all around the battlefield. If the opposite striker from going anywhere, or knocking it off balance. Pikachu uses Iron Tail on the battlefield, launching the breeze of strike and causing damage, using the quick attack and Iron Tail strategy to land a good hit. The two then clash a Thunderbolt and Electro Ball, which ended in an explosion, and the two finishes with one more hit. More hit. If at least tries as a I'll charge, sorry. Right, and as Pikachu. And Pikachu uses an iron as a lightning rod to absorb the hit. With the striker being stumbled by the damage and the recoil, Ash's Pikachu use Electro. Rex all and land a hard hit, defeating Striker and winning Ash the Bolt Badge. Lisa praises Ash's skill. Else in the group head outside. The others congratulating Ash with it. Lisa saying the next gym from here is in Driftvale. And just like then the group can't go right now as the bridge is closed for repairs. So they decide to stay in Boss for the time being, with Elisa telling them of a nighttime carnival while they're invited to. The group agree. We then get the next morning, or so we thought, as Ash finds himself in a lightning storm on blue lightning, but quickly realizes that this is the same dream he had back on the plane before he got to Unova. But just like the dream, a black speed earcom returns. However, this time, instead of just blue eyes, a full figure with the same blue eyes appears. But before anything else happens, Ash once again ends up woken from the dream. But Ash gets out of bed and changes clothes, confused with what the whole thing was. But it rings in the back of his head as he goes to meet his friend as for breakfast. After breakfast, the group discussed their plan. But with Hilda saying she wants to take some photos of their Pokemon, and Bianca wanting to go with her help. And Silence says he wants to go check out the battle subway and asks Ash to join him. Ash, thinking, sounds like fun, agrees. The group then head to the gear station, and like Ken, there's a stamp rally where the winner gets a chance to battle the subway bosses. But after a fun montage of going around fighting the stamps, and Ash and Silent manage to win and get to battle the subway bosses. But first, they battle their way through a bunch of other trainers, winning all of them, showcasing pretty good teamwork and skill until eventually they meet the subway bosses, who Silent fanboys over. And quickly the battle begins. Ash and Silent use Oshawa and Zaid, while the brothers use Chandelure and Electros respectively. Both sides go great skill and teamwork. And both refuse to give up. But eventually, the brothers' teamwork outshines Ash and Silent, who haven't been a team for very long, and unfortunately, this ends up knocking out Oshawa and Panzage, losing them the battle. But the two are bummed out, but the brothers congratulate their progress and Silent for winning the stamp rally. They thank them and then leave to head back to the Pokemon Center. Later that night, it's carnival time, and the group are excited. They go around the carnival, having all sorts of fun together before once again deciding to split up. Split up where we go through three separate events. First, we start off with Silent, who sees a bunch of trainers and their Pokemon nicely on the best foot. Oh, as it turns out, this was supposed to be a connoisseur event, but said connoisseur was canceled to a busy schedule. So Silent decides to step in with his A-class connoisseur skills and knowledge. He manages to give everyone tips as to better raise their bonds with their Pokemon. But the tips work, and Silent has a lot of fun. Excited for the day he can help all sorts of trains even more as an S class. We then get to Hilda and Bianca, who were off at the Pokemon musical again, where they run into Elesa, who's helped Big Out with the show with her Pokemon, and invites the two to help her out, and they both agree. But things are initially awkward at first, but thanks to his directional skills alongside Elisa, everyone does great. The players' input on the great success. It's impressing Elisa. Now, once the play's over, at least, so thanks to girls for their help. With their help, even asked them about their goals. Hilda revealing her dream of making Pokemon models inspired by her, and Bianca admitting she doesn't have a goal yet, but is having a lot of fun traveling and learning all sorts of things. Lisa's supportive of both of them and tells Bianca she'll find a goal for herself someday. And even as you enjoy the festival with them. And the three girls go off to explore. We finally then cut to Ash, who's decided to check out the Ferris wheel. Before he does, a familiar face returns. N. That Ash is about to walk off, but Anne spots him and asks to ride the Ferris wheel with him. Ash reluctantly says yes. As the group go outside and check out the view, but Ash is completely distrusting of Anne and unable to let his guard down alongside Pikachu. Ash then asks Anne why he wanted to ride the Ferris wheel with him, and reveals his affiliation with Team Plasma, that he's the king, and clears that he'll win the legendary Pokemon Reshiram, conquer the Pokemon League, and become unbeatable. Eatable. He also reveals that the other members told them about what happened, been back in Castelia, but this he wants to try and stop him even more. Dares Ash, in fact. In fact, eventually the ride ends with Ash completely and utterly shocked and angry at Anne, and Lee saying, and Lee, but not before Ash says he'll stop him, and Anne says they'll meet again, then leaving Ash more determined than ever to stop Team Plasma. The next day, Ash, Hilda, and Silent wake up with Silent revealing that he read that the bridge repairs are now complete, so they can now hit the drift belt. Ash and Hilda are happy, but after looking around, they quickly notice something. Bianca isn't here. So they head outside to look for her. And eventually they find her with the man who tells her to come end her journey and come home. Oh, but she refuses. It's quickly revealed that this man is Bianca's father. Father ain't worried about her. He wants her to end her journey and come home immediately. So the trio decide to step in, defending Bianca. And I'm just saying they do not want her friend's journey to end like this. Like this. Ash even empathizes talking about his own mother and how she worries about him on a journey too. But the difference is she has faith that he'll be okay, and the same thing goes for her. So he advises her father to have that same kind of faith in Bianca. Bianca's dad understands what is hesitant, so he'll challenge him for a battle for it, for reluctantly agreeing to the deal that if he wins, Bianca can continue. But if Bianca's father wins, Bianca has to come home now, despite his friend's uncertainty. With that, Bianca's father sends out his Darmanitan in its Zen end mode, but actually is about to send out Aja off that type event, but Darumaka pops out of his Pokeball, winning the battle. Ash is unsure of her, but seeing the determination in Darumaka's eyes, he agrees. The battle is going good. Despite battling his evolved form, for Ash and Darumaka's team were keep Darmanitan at bay until finally the battle makes Bianca's dad fired up. He becomes more aggressive As same with his Darmanitan, who leaves its Zenmo, and the battle's a lot more one-sided. But Darmaka, Bianca's father, more aggressive. But Ash refuses to give up. But with him, Hilda and Silent reminiscing of their time with Bianca, how much they care for her as her friend, making Bianca emotional. Over the battle and their words make Bianca's dad think about his own journey and the fun he had. Darmaka, however, gets fired up, refusing to let his trainer down and wanting to help him. And so, with an angry yell, a burst of light happens, and he evolves into Darmanitan too, which ones make the battle a lot more even, as both are now powerhouse and tanks. Tanks both duke it out, and it comes down to a collision of the flame charge rollout combo and flare blitz. And when the smoke clears, both have fallen, resulting in a double knockout. Now, the group are unsure what this means, but Bianca's father says such Bianca can continue her journey after being reminded of his. It is he realizes the dreams are a lot of fun and wants Bianca to have a fun and realize her goal is the goal she wanted all this time. Bianca is overjoyed, thanking her father and friends. However, now that he's here, Bianca asks you if you'd like to hang out with her here, and he agrees. So the father and daughter say goodbye to Ash and friends to enjoy the city together. As Ash holds in the sign, let have him feel satisfied, helping their friend continue their journey and making their way to Driftvale. And that's where we're gonna end part 5. So, what did you all think? Did you all enjoy this part? Art, tell me in the comments, and look forward to the art 6. See ya.